Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It is Marketing Monday. Pat Hilton and your boy Zach Hoffman. We are live all over the world. And it's an absolutely beautiful day. Zach, welcome back.
What's up, Pat? Yeah, it's a beautiful day down here in South Florida. How about yourself?
Doesn't get any better than Florida and Texas coming together to bring people some value every Monday, does it?
Definitely not. Definitely not. Definitely time to roll, man. Definitely a lot of things going on in the marketing and tech world.
Oh my gosh, man, it changes every day, doesn't it? Let's jump right into it. What do you got on the hopper today?
Yeah, rapid evolution. So McDonald's massive rollout of AI. We'll talk about that. And then Mr. Peanut getting his, not just, I would say, brand debut, but continue to build up that brand, from an aspect of brand marketing, continue to build up the loyalty there. And that'll bring us into our next topic, which is performance versus brand marketing, and talk a little bit about that and the importance of the brand aspects of marketing, because you don't always feel it as directly as you do with direct response marketing and advertising.
Yeah, absolutely. And, organic versus paid. We always have that conversation. You want to be doing it all. Do everything you
Correct.
possibly can to get people into your pipeline and interested in what you're doing.
Exactly. A lot of ways to nurture the audience. Well, just to jump right in, when we're talking McDonald's and AI, they are doing a massive rollout over the next, few years here. I could imagine it's going to take a few years because they're planning to essentially upgrade all of the equipment in their 43,000 restaurants to essentially be embedded with AI, so that the kitchen equipment is actually more connected, and that they'll be able to deliver you what they, promise to be better food, or just, better quality, or, what customers are looking for. They're also going to be testing AI managers with the simple activities of being able to do the hours of all the employees at the locations, as well as start to analyze the equipment for detecting breakage before it actually happens. So a lot of this is like a big tech overlay to a traditional brand that, many would argue McDonald's has it perfect and they could just keep doing what they're doing, but definitely pushing the edge, pushing the curve here with AI, with a promise to try to get their customers from a count of 175 million up to 250 million by 2027.
Well, dude, I mean, AI is taking a hold of so many tasks that we do. The human touch definitely makes things brilliant, but man, those robots can lay a foundation on certain tasks and workflows and stuff that's just it's just unreal.
Oh yeah.
And so I'm shocked that certain things are as advanced as they are already, and who knows what we don't know yet. I'm sure there's plenty of things out there that we haven't seen that are incredible.
There's a lot that we don't know yet that's, on the forefront, or things that are being, developed in the lab that they're debating probably whether or not to bring it to the public. There's a huge curve there as to what AI is doing, from just a data perspective to a content development perspective, to even how AI is communicating with other humans and influencing human behavior, because there's a lot of that going on. It's all being driven in some form or fashion from, computers in a lot of ways.
It's great. I remember when I first took a Rolling Stone CD and duplicated it and showed my dad that I could take the files off the CD, and I don't think he even could believe it. Yeah, I was like, dude, this is where all of this stuff is going to go business-wise. Every business in the world is going to be using digital files just like this to promote their stuff, to be
What were you
rock
exactly
stars.
doing?
What's that?
What's that? I said,
Just
what
like
were you
MP3, just MP3 files. But like, you knew almost at that point when I was in high school that the entire tech and marketing and business industry was going to change because of file sharing. And now, because social media, which didn't even exist back then, all social media is a big, huge file sharing network. And like you talk about, it just operates off of a website. This is why websites are so important. All Facebook.com is on the mobile app, and the app is so cool. We just call it Facebook because we're spoiled and we have an app, but really it's a .com that they created a mobile version that's very convenient to use and to file share. And the whole point of media, social media, is to be social. And so that's part of the reason why we always do that. This format has become so popular because it's the easiest way to just hop on a Zoom and have a chat with somebody from anywhere in the world.
Oh yeah, and get a message out there, get communication about what you're doing or what you could be doing to enhance your brand further. There's a lot of steps being done to
Totally.
take it.
It's awesome.
Yeah, for sure. And when we're talking, bridging like what it is, well, I don't even know how you would frame it, but you kind of stated, talking to your dad about the evolution of going from like a traditional world into like a digital format or how it evolves. Mr. Peanut, legendary brand. We've all had peanuts and we all know the Mr. Peanut brand. Essentially is taking his I don't want to say it's a star debut because I believe he's had Macy's Day Parade and he's had his floats and he's been out there a lot, but he's gonna actually be in a Netflix movie and his voice is gonna be played by Woody Harrelson here in the near future. You don't get much bigger than that.
No, Woody Harrelson's a legend.
Yeah, for sure. And the interesting thing too is it took the producers, directors a little bit to convince the Hormel, parent company of Mr. Peanut to allow them to utilize Mr. Peanut in this upcoming flick. So he's gonna be, in an upcoming movie, and that's gonna bridge a whole new generation to probably wanting to try peanuts. I mean, in a world where it seems like there's more fear of nuts than ever before because of allergies. I
Right.
think in this decade, day and age, that's important that, the peanut brands are doing things to essentially make themselves more friendly and get people to want to try peanuts because I know in some classrooms or even, some environments, you're not even allowed to have them anymore. So it's important that they're essentially getting out the message or at least like reinforcing their brand that people want to, try peanut out or, get a little bit of understanding of what Mr. Peanut can bring to the table.
Yeah, I think that also it's just the hyper analyzation of the hyper analysis of everything now because everything's got a magnifying glass on it because again, I mean, you get on these social sites and someone starts talking about something and topics get blown up fast. And, the peanuts and a bunch of other brands, people look at it and they want to change it.
Yep. No, definitely, definitely. Which brings us forward because when you're looking at marketing and just marketing in general, there's a lot of distinct aspects of it. But when it comes to performance versus brand marketing, it's really critical that brands like Hormel and Mr. Peanut continue to do brand building activities because they can't always count just necessarily on direct response to drive the brand to the next level. So, utilizing Mr. Peanut in a movie and basically, continuing to carry forward his iconship is going to allow them to create more, I would say, unaided brand recall, which is scarce for a lot of brands. So, like, if somebody's thinking peanuts or nuts, to think Mr. Peanut, that goes down to brand marketing and messaging versus performance marketing and messaging, which is, strictly driving, specific response or results versus that brand building allows you to like, I would say like shatter some of the barriers to actually direct response because somebody would have heard of the Mr. Peanut brand or heard of a specific brand prior to making that end funnel engagement and actually taking that buying action.
Well, yeah. And I mean, just saying Planters peanuts, everybody recognizes the guy with the little eyeglass thing. I mean, the peanut guy became legendary. I don't even know if he's still around anymore, and everybody still knows who he is. So
I'm-
that's one of those things like Chester Cheetah or Tony the
yeah.
Tiger. Some of those food brands, they've got the best mascots.
Oh, for sure. And that's not by accident. Even
It's
McDonald's, the
awesome.
brand that we spoke about, they have Ronald McDonald's and they have a whole fleet of mascots that have essentially made their brands iconic. So, tying in a mascot to a brand, I'm not suggesting it's for everybody, but as you kind of just referenced a few iconic brands, it seems like it's a pretty common playbook item.
Well, and it's just like, what do we want to be? I mean, if you're the water company and you come out and you do pool services for people, Penguin Pool Services or something fits.
Mhm.
It's just how do you want to go about that? Or do you want to be associated with an animal or something like that as the mascot? It could be something else, but I think that works for a lot of people. It stands out. And I mean, if you really go back in time, all the Mega Man characters was like Snake Man and, the Armadillo Man. And so, sometimes they
Mega
make great
Man.
villains. Mascots make great villains in Mega Man games too.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. I mean, definitely like they play into a lot of storytelling, and especially when it comes to building brands, building businesses, storytelling is usually a big crux of everything.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
making sure that you have that aspect of marketing played into your brand is definitely, critical to essentially getting to the next level and driving that, performance-based aspect of marketing that people want to see.
Absolutely. And I mean, what about the Philadelphia Philly? Everybody loves that guy. Even if you don't like the Philadelphia teams or Philadelphia at all. It's like you can't not like the Philadelphia Philly or you're just an angry person.
Yeah,
You know what I
there's
mean?
a lot of mascots that soften up a lot
Yeah, I
of
mean, come on. The guy's cool. Fred Bird from the St. Louis Cardinals. Everybody loves Fred Bird. He's cool. What
for
else we got
sure.
on the hopper?
Well, that covers a few of the critical items I would just want to touch on. I definitely just speaks to the volume and velocity of where AI is coming into play with a lot of different businesses out there, and the levels as to which it's being applied.
Well, I again, like especially with like workflows or automations, you can build a list so much faster now. We're implementing all this stuff across the board going into March and April for
Mhm.
commenting and automation to free PDF books and all these different things to get people to download the podcast shows and
Nice.
subscribe and get updates about when we're going live. We're implementing all of this kind of stuff and testing it behind the scenes, but it's crazy what these tools are capable of. But you got to know how to use the tool, and each tool has a specific place in a overall workflow. And so you can't just think AI is going to do everything for me. You have to figure out what AI tools fit around the workflows to make it actually do something for you so that there's an output that's useful so that you can monetize those tools. Or you're just going to be playing with AI tools all day going broke. So you got to be careful with that too. You know, you got to figure out what you actually want to accomplish and then find the tools that are going to help you do that, because AI rules if you know how to guide the robots. You know what I'm saying, Zach?
Yeah, for sure, Pat. Definitely, definitely.
Rock and roll. Awesome. Well, ladies and gentlemen, have a great week. We got a lot to do. We've got people in the studio. Zach's got campaigns he's running. We're going wild. And even tons of stuff that I can't even tell you guys about yet that Zach and I are working on that will be unveiled at some point for the public. Zach, any final words on how people can win this week?
Well, have an awesome week. Definitely, just keep persisting and keep driving your business forward. That's what you got to do.
Yeah, stay positive, stay on the front lines, and get it done.
For sure. For sure.
I love it. Rock and roll. Everybody have a great week. Give us a follow. Add Zach on Facebook if you're watching us on that stream, and we will see you on the next one.